What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we're doing a 10-team PPR mock draft, and we're going to be picking out of the fourth spot. I think the middle picks, 4 through 6, are probably the toughest pick in fantasy drafts, just because you don't get the luxury of getting 2 picks on a turn or anything like that. So let's see how the team turns out. If you can follow these social links, I'm going to continue with daily fantasy updates and really just all NFL news. So leave a like, comment, and subscribe. So today we're going to do our fantasy mock draft on the Sleeper app. If you haven't heard of Sleeper, it's pretty good and their format is really clean. So the only thing about it is you don't get a grade like Fantasy Pros offers you at the end. So let's see what kind of team we can put together. Like I said, from this fourth spot, I'm going to do let's see, roster settings wise, we're going to do 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, a tight end, 2 flex, no kicker, a defense, and then 5 bench spots. So let's do that. Actually, yeah, 5 is good. We'll do that. Okay, so let's claim that fourth pick. Here I'm really looking for Derrick Henry or Alvin Kamara. Um, those are the guys I'm targeting in this area. Let's see what happens. Okay, so Derrick Henry went 3. We've got McCaffrey who went number 2, and then Kamara went 1. So Dalvin Cook is still on the board. I think him and McCaffrey are pretty much in a tier of their own. So I'm gonna go with Dalvin Cook here with my first pick. Continuing, we've got Saquon going at 5, Jonathan Taylor at 6, Nick Chubb at 7. Jonathan Taylor at 6 is way too soon for me, especially now that, Carson Wentz is out, Quentin Nelson is out. It's said that they'll return quickly, but I'm not very optimistic about that. So I would take guys like Chubb over Jonathan Taylor. I would take Zeke definitely over Jonathan Taylor. I would take Aaron Jones over Jonathan Taylor, and I would even take Austin Eckler over Jonathan Taylor. So that's a little bit of a reach for me. Devontae Adams finishes out round 1. Then you've got Eckler at the turn. Diggs goes at 2-2, followed by Kelsey in the second round, and you don't really see that too often. Aaron Jones, Mahomes, DeAndre Hopkins, and now I am on the clock. I like to start my drafts running back. Just because I like getting 2 running backs with RB1 upside. You never know what's going to happen with that position. So for me, it's between these 3 guys and Mixon, Harris, and Gibson. These are all guys with already built-in volume. They're pretty much 3 down backs. Najee Harris was drafted to be that. Mixon's got a little injury history baked in, but I think if we're talking ceiling, Antonio Gibson is the pick here. So I'm gonna go with Antonio Gibson from Washington, starting off with Dalvin Cook, Antonio Gibson, and let's see how it shapes out. Najee Harris goes at 2-9. Mixon goes to start the third round. AJ Brown, Ridley, and it's back on me. Running backs I would consider in this range, Clyde and J.K. Dobbins. If I wanted to start it off with 3 running backs, I don't think I'm going to do that. So I said I'm not going to start running back, but now that I look at the board, it's looking more likely. Keenan Allen, Terry McLaurin, Allen Robinson, Mike Evans are guys that I can draft in this range. But I also like Clyde Edwards-Helaire quite a bit. He would be in my flex spot. When it comes to receiver, these guys, there'll be plenty of receivers to get back to me. But I think I'm going to take Keenan Allen. He's pretty consistent, always, a 100 catch guy, and PPR, that's pretty valuable. So I think I am going to go with Keenan Allen, and we'll see what happens here, how it shapes out. I will take Keenan Allen. Clyde goes right after Keenan Allen, Dobbins, Swift, Jacobs, Sanders, Kittle. No receivers actually go. finish out that round. So that was really nice. I still have tons of receiving options here. Allen Robinson in the fourth round at 7 is pretty much stealing. So I'm gonna take Allen Robinson here. Kyle Pitts goes to start the fifth round. It's way too early for me. Darren Waller went in the back of the fourth, which is a steal. I should have considered drafting him in the fourth round. He doesn't typically fall that far. I was in on drafting tight ends early, but then, as I saw what was on the board and running back potential, it's hard for me to pass on running back to start my draft. And then once I get to the middle rounds, you start getting those tight ends that you're unsure about. So, I've been steering away from that as of late. Chris Godwin is still on the board for me here in the fifth round, along with CeeDee Lamb. I think CeeDee Lamb is probably a ceiling play, so you don't know how good that guy can be. I'm gonna grab CeeDee Lamb. He's gonna fill out my first flex spot. Looking at the team, we've got Dalvin Cook, Antonio Gibson, Keenan Allen, Allen Robinson, and CeeDee Lamb in the flex. Pretty damn good. Lamar Jackson goes right after me with 5-5. Robert Woods, Chris Godwin, Travis Etienne, Adam Thielen, Miles Gaskin, Jamar Chase goes to start the sixth, and Tyler Lockett is pick 5 in the sixth round. I think that's a smash pick right there. If you can get Tyler Lockett in the sixth, that's a snag. Kenny Galladay is still here for me. I like him quite a bit. Quarterback wise, you've got Dak here in the sixth. Be a pretty interesting stack with him and CeeDee Lamb. I like that quite a bit. But I think Kenny Galladay still being here is pretty crazy too. Brandon Ayuk, I love. You know what? I think I'm gonna go with Dak and hope one of these receivers come back to me because I think they will. After Dak, T.J. Hawkinson goes, Kenny Galladay goes, Brandon Ayuk. Those were the two guys I was looking at. So pretty unfortunate. And now Deontay Johnson is here. Odell is still here. Um, Chase Claypool and T. Higgins are still here. So there's a trend in the middle rounds. The wide receivers are still pretty good. Like you want to try and get one of these guys in the middle rounds, which is not why I don't think you should draft a receiver within the first two picks. I know they're studs like Tyreek Hill and Devontae Adams, but drafting like Justin Jefferson in the second, I don't think so. But I mean, we'll see. You're already drafting those guys at their peak play. So Justin Jefferson drafted as the wide receiver 3 in this draft, so I don't really see him finishing as the wide receiver 3. And I just think that's too high. There are too many valuable running backs to pick in the beginning of the draft. So with that being said, we still have Odell, Juju, T. Higgins, Chase Claypool. There's just all kinds of nice receivers in here. Running back wise, you've got the mid round running backs, that running back dead zone. I'm not really touching these guys. I'll take a shot on Sermon or Michael Carter later in the draft, but guys like Mike Davis, Melvin Gordon, I don't want to have to rely on them as my running back 2 or even my flex. So I feel much, much better about guys like Deontay Johnson. But Deontay Johnson is a little bit shaky for me. I'm not too sure if that's what I want to do or if I want to go Odell. I think I'm gonna go Deontay Johnson. I think he's another high catch guy. Him, Allen Robinson, and Keenan Allen are kind of all the same player in terms of not a lot of yards but a lot of catches. So let's see as the draft continues here. Boom, boom. Noah Fant goes in the eighth round. No thanks. At this point, I pretty much punted on tight end. I can take some flyers in the end. I somehow still have the opportunity to draft, Chase Claypool, Jerry Judy. The wide receivers just do not run out, and I'm gonna keep pounding the position, and I would take Claypool, but I already have Deontay Johnson. Does that really matter? No, but I'm gonna take Judy because he has a chance to be the one on his team. So I'll take Jerry Judy and see what happens there. Boom, 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 boom. Claypool is still on the board in the ninth. I really don't think that's going to be a trend in much drafts. He's climbing up boards. I think Claypool is going to have a nice breakout season. Jalen Waddle is a great pick right here. But like I said, I'll take shots on guys like Trey Sermon with solidified guys in my running back 1 and 2 with Antonio Gibson and Dalvin Cook, I have the flexibility to go out and get a guy like Sermon or like Michael Carter. I'll take Sermon because he has better touchdown upside. The offense is good. Mostert gets hurt all the time, so maybe Sermon steps in from week 1. We'll see how that plays out. Claypool goes right after me. Cortland Sutton, Jalen Waddle. Not too many running backs. Michael Carter goes at the end of the ninth, right where I think he should. Damian Harris is going to be my pick. If he falls to me at the 10th, I'm taking him. He's a starting running back. I know it's in that New England ambiguous backfield, but they've clearly moved on from Sony Michel, and I think Damian Harris is going to get most of the groundwork. The question is really how many rushing touchdowns will Cam have, because you're hoping that Mac Jones steps in if you have Damian Harris on your team, just because Mac Jones isn't going to pound it in on the goal line. So I'll take Damian Harris there. I really like how the team is shaking out. Um, let's see. Robert Tunyon is still here. I like Tunyon quite a bit. In the 11th round, I think you can take shots on pretty much whoever you want. Tunyon, I like just because Rodgers is going to throw touchdowns. He's very touchdown dependent, but maybe he's earned a bigger role in this offense after what he did last year. Maybe not. Logan Thomas had a great year last year. Tyler Higbee has a chance to go off. Jonnu, even Adam Trotman here at the bottom. Um, Tight end is kind of wide open once you pass on certain guys. So I'll take Tunyon, just see what happens. I don't mind streaming a position. If I leave the draft and I have to stream just one position, I'm fine with that. I don't. I just don't want to be messing with my running backs and wide receivers during the season. Let's see. Curtis Samuel still here. He's on the pup. Um, Michael Pittman is here, and I like Michael Pittman a little bit more now that report came out that Carson Wentz might be playing a little bit more. So maybe I'll take Pittman right here. Sure. What happens? I'll snag my defense just because I know I'm going to be able to get who I want. My last pick. I'll take the Ravens. A very popular thing to do at the end of drafts is draft. If you didn't get one of those high end quarterbacks, I feel pretty good about Dak. But maybe something happens to him. If you draft like Justin Fields or Trey Lance, they're gonna get on the field. It's really just a matter of when. And if you believe in the talent, then those guys are gonna be good, and you can get them basically for free. So let's take a look at the team that we have right now. And we finish out with Dak at quarterback. We've got Dalvin Cook, Antonio Gibson at the running back positions to go along with Keenan Allen and Allen Robinson. Two very safe plays there. CeeDee Lamb in my flex, Deontay Johnson also in my flex. With the Ravens defense, and the bench looks like this with Jerry Jeudy, Trey Sermon, Damian Harris, Michael Pittman, and Trey Lance. If I went into a fantasy league with this team, I would feel very, very confident. Like I said, the only strategies that I've been incorporating is just draft running backs early. Take two of the stud running backs in round 1 and round 2.